You arrive at your screen. A simmering portal opens. You think you're clicking connect, but what you get is far more. An invitation to a game of shadows. Once in a Harvard dorm room, a young man named Mark Zuckerberg didn't build a network of friends. He built a digital scoreboard of women's looks. Before Facebook, there was FaceMash, a site where female students were ranked by attractiveness, their photos pulled without consent from Harvard servers. He wasn't expelled, he was inspired. The man who turned classmates into content would go on to turn humanity into data. I'm Kristen, and this is Building Better Systems, my deep dive series on tech, ethics, and the way our digital world is built. Let's step deeper into the meta story. By 2005, Facebook wasn't just a college project anymore. It was a startup. And its first major investor wasn't just a businessman. It was Peter Thiel, co-founder of Palantir, a company that builds surveillance tech for intelligence agencies. He invested $500,000 for 10% of the company, a deal that made surveillance social. In 2007, Facebook launched Beacon, a program that tracked your purchases across the web and broadcasted them publicly. After public outrage, the company apologized and shut it down. But the lesson was clear. Privacy was negotiable. Profit was not. By 2009, the like button arrived, a dopamine switch disguised as a feature. Every click trained the algorithm to know you better than your closest friend. In 2011, the FTC charged Facebook with deceiving users about privacy. They settled and promised to change. But the only thing that changed was the scale. In leaked internal memos, executives summed up their philosophy in 4 chilling words: company over country, growth at all cost. And as whistleblowers later revealed, they knew the damage, misinformation, polarization, real-world violence, but they chose to expand anyways. By 2012, Facebook's algorithm had one goal: keep you scrolling. That year, they secretly ran an emotional contagion experiment on nearly 700,000 users, changing what appeared in their feeds to see if they can manipulate mood. They could. Then came Cambridge Analytica, 87 million users' data harvested through a quiz app. Weaponized to sway elections. Facebook knew about it for years and said nothing. By 2019, the empire was fracturing, so they changed the name, not the game. In 2021, Facebook became Meta, promising a future of digital worlds and endless connection. But beneath the VR headsets and glowing press release, the same system remained. Extraction disguised as innovation. That same year, the FTC filed an antitrust case against Meta for monopolizing social media by acquiring Instagram and WhatsApp. In 2023, Meta paid $725 million to settle the Cambridge Analytica lawsuit, the largest privacy settlement in US history. Whistleblower Francis Hewen revealed internal documents showing Meta knew its platforms worsened mental health and spread misinformation, yet cut moderation budgets anyway. Then came the pivot to AI, a new promise of ethical intelligence. But the model hasn't changed, because the product hasn't changed. The product is still you. From a Harvard dorm room to a digital empire, a story of connection became a blueprint for control. Each click, each post, each moment of outrage built the architecture of surveillance we now live inside. They told us it was free, but nothing free comes without a cost. A company built on judgment now builds worlds of illusion. Empathy replaced by engagement. Freedom replaced by feedback. But this story isn't just about them. It's about us. Every time we log on, we decide what kind of future we feed. We can build networks that serve humanity or systems that consume it. The question isn't whether Meta will change. It's whether we will.